Hey guys, welcome to Real Her Revelations for this evening. I am going to wait till we get you guys in the group and in the video, and we're going to get started because I have 7 ways that you are damaging your own hair. So, I got to make sure Facebook don't be tripping because, sometimes they don't be wanting to show me the comments, but I can see Erica is on. Hey Teresa. Hello Anita. Happy belated birthday Adina. Everybody say happy birthday to Adina. She is an OG and she should be celebrated because she is a gorgeous, wonderful person with a beautiful soul, and we want to celebrate her today, even though her birthday has already passed. So happy belated birthday, Adina. We love you. Hey, everyone. Hey, y'all. Do me a favor. Make sure that you invite your friends. Be a friend who shares and cares, and share this live so that we can get everyone up in here, because you and your friends and your mama and your sister and your cousins too are probably damaging your hair and you don't even realize that you are. So let's get started. Yes. Happy birthday, Adina. Happy birthday. All right, we got Crystal and we got Erica, we got Adina, we got Karen. Karen with the bomb Bantu knot lockout. Can I say that? She's got locks, so Bantu knot on her beautiful sister locks. Hey, Erica. We got 2 Ericas. We got Erica Hall and Erica, Erica Saunders. Hey, Tim. Hello, Tamara. Hi, June. Oh, your birthday's tomorrow. Okay, well, it's not belated. It's a happy birthday pre-birthday. So her birthday's tomorrow. She's a Gemini. I am too. So, show some Gemini love. It's Gemini season. So everybody else, y'all had y'all turn. It's our turn right now. Hello. Hey, Tim. Oh, thank you guys for saying I'm glowing. I appreciate you. So while we're waiting for folks to get on, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give you some church announcements, okay? So before we get into the topic, because I want to make sure as many people get on as possible, because I have a lot of content to get through tonight, and I don't want to have to repeat myself. So I want to make sure that we wait till we get enough people in the room. Okay, so let me tell you guys some church announcements. First of all, my birthday is coming up on June 7th. So if you are not aware, that is the same day as the purple one, Prince, right? And so my birthday is June 7th, and because we are going to be quarantined, and I'm so sad I won't be able to get to do anything, I am inviting all of you to my birthday party, and it is going to be a Zoom birthday party. We're going to have our in-house DJ 007, who you guys should know because we send out a mix that he curates and creates every single week on Mondays. He's going to be DJing for us, and it's going to be a birthday party, and all of you are invited. So if you are excited, let me know. Drop me some emojis. I'm super duper excited. And it's so interesting how coronavirus has brought out all this creativity, and people are doing all these sorts of Zoom videos and things like that. And I was like, I should have a party, but I'm going to have it with all the Claymates. That's going to be awesome. And so it's going to be so much fun. You are invited. And if you are there, you will actually get first access to the Repair Your Hair Challenge if you are at my party. Now, if you're not at my party, you ain't gonna get it. So you should come, because the Repair Your Hair Challenge will sell out like it did last time. And a bunch of y'all was in my inbox, I really want to sign up for the next one. Let me know when it's coming up. It actually doesn't open until after the party. But if you're at my party, I'm going to give you first access to it. Okay? So, Eunice, I'm so excited to hear that you're new to the project and you're loving it. Yay, that makes me so happy. All right, so yes, my party. Yes, purple party. So here's the deal, okay? If it's my party, y'all got to show up, and y'all got to show up correct, okay? I want to see y'all drinks in your hand. I want to see, even if you don't drink, if you got to be apple juice, grape juice, whatever you do. I personally will have wine, but that's just me. So whatever you need to have a good time, please do. We had a Zoom wrap party for the end of our Repair Your Hair Challenge the last time. And anybody who was on there will tell you it was so much fun. So we will be dancing. We're going to have a great time. Make sure that you're there. So if you're planning to come to my party, let me know, because I can't wait. I will send you the link to the party, the Zoom party, later on, sometime later on. So you'll get it before the party, obviously. But I really, really, really would love if all y'all came to my party and helped me celebrate my birthday. Yes, Nicole, Brittany Nicole says, twerking and froze. Yes, yes. Aletha says she just got her products today. Awesome. Rayma is going to have sparkling apple cider. I love it. Lisa says, where's our gallons? So we sent out, most of the gallons have shipped. Some of them haven't. And like we sent out a little while ago, we sent out a message couple of days ago that lets you guys know that COVID-19 is happening, and unfortunately we don't have any control of the supply chain. And so if you have not heard on the news, there is a bottle shortage everywhere. Bottles are out of stock in America because bigger companies are taking them to fill them with hand sanitizer. So gallons are shipping. They should all be shipped out by Friday, if not Saturday, but we're a couple days behind our anticipated ship date, but they're coming. So we can't control COVID-19, and unfortunately it's affecting everyone. Also, there are severe delays from the post office. There are some things that we've shipped out and didn't arrive for 3 weeks, and we don't have any control over that. So COVID-19 is affecting literally every business in the entire world right now. So I thank you all so much for your patience as we get through this crazy time. We have been very, very lucky that we've been able to weather this storm. There's a lot of businesses that have failed and have faltered because of that. And I cannot thank you all enough for supporting us and loving us so much that you all have kept us going, and we've been able to continue to serve you. And that really brings a lot of joy to my heart, because my whole thing is always to help you guys transform. So most gallons have shipped. There are some gallons I haven't. So again, thank you guys for your patience. And we are busting our tails. Believe me. I was just at the office last night till 1:30 in the morning making product, because we don't even have our whole staff in the office right now because of COVID-19. So thank you all so much. I appreciate you. All right. So if you haven't shared this live, make sure you share it, because we want everyone in the, Erica's so funny. She says, if you get an order canceled or you find an extra gallon, just let me know. I need a gallon. So Rika may be able to slide into your DMs and, assist you, Erica. I'm just saying. In any case, so my party is June 7th. Mark your calendar. It will be 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on June 7th. That's a Sunday. All right. So even if y'all have church that day, even if it's online church, y'all should be done with it by then. So don't y'all say, well, I can't come because I got church, because church going to be over by 3. I made sure of it. So 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. I will send you more information as we move forward. Share if you haven't already. Okay. Eleanor says she got her t-shirt. Awesome. All right. So that's the first church announcement. I thought I had another one for y'all. I think the second one was the COVID announcement, but I already addressed that just now. So let's get into this topic. Here's 7 ways that you are damaging your own hair, and you probably don't even know it. Excuse me. By the way, if you are interested in the Repair Your Hair Challenge, which I'm going to show you guys some amazing before and afters in just a moment, after we get done with the topic, you can sign up for the waiting list here. And I'll pin the waiting list link for you, so you don't have to look around for it. Okay. All right, y'all. Let's get into this topic. Letitia says she's going to come to my party. I'm so excited. Yay. All right, let's go. So 7 ways. I had to write them all down because I don't want to forget any of them. 7 ways that you are damaging your hair. First of all, you're not drinking enough water. Not drinking enough water. The USDA or whoever it is, they tell us that we should be drinking half of our body weight in water. And I realize that's a large task to take on, especially if you're not already drinking enough water. If you're already drinking a lot of water, let me phrase that. If you know that you're not drinking enough water, at least 8 glasses a day, I want you to leave me a comment, and I want you to say me. Raise your hand if you know that you're not drinking enough water. All right. So water is life when it comes to your hair. If you want to have full, voluminous hair that you can predict is going to look good all the time, you have to start with your hair and its water content. Now, before I move forward a little bit, I want to caveat this, because the things that I'm going to talk about today are all things that you can do right now. Okay? The great thing about this list that I'm going to give you is none of this is going to cost you any money. None of this is going to cost you a whole lot of time. It's going to be things that you can get started on. If you write this stuff down as I'm telling it to you, it's going to be stuff you can do today or tomorrow morning. Okay? And they're all things that you're responsible for, except for maybe one. But most of them are things that you are responsible for, solely you. So before I move forward, I do want to kind of give you the framework here. Those of you who are OGs, and I'm sorry, I didn't even tell my OGs to shout yourself out. If you're an OG, let them know where you are and where you come from. If you're a newbie, say what's up. Let us know where you're coming from. And by the way, if you are new to my live, let me know so I can say hello to you. And by the way, let me introduce yourself. I'm so rude. So my name is Gwen. Duh. I'm the CEO and founder of Naturalicious. We create time-saving hair care solutions for busy women like yourself and men like Tim, who was on the live as well, and Kamani, who I saw also. All right. We love to say that we take you from having wash days to having wash minutes. Every one of our products is multitasking and multi-benefit. And to this day, we have saved over 70,000 women more than 1.2 million minutes on wash day. So that is amazing, incredible. And this is our 7th year in business. So thank you so much. We're in over 1,200 retail stores, including Sally Beauty, Whole Foods, and Ulta. All right. Yes, Pat is in the inner circle. So some of us who are here today are in the Naturalicious inner circle. That means that they've completed the Repair Your Hair Challenge and they have advanced to the next level, which is the inner circle. So if there are other people who are in the Naturalicious Nation, and then there's some of you who are brand new. So welcome all of you to Casa de la Gwen tonight. All right. And if you haven't shared, make sure you share. All right. So let's get back into it. So 75% of how your hair looks, and they learned this in the Repair Your Hair Challenge, 75% of how your hair looks, feels, and turns out has to do with you. So if you are someone who has been trying product after product after product and nothing works for you, I am not one of those brand owners who's going to make it seem like you can just go out and buy a miracle in a jar and all of a sudden all your hair issues is going to be resolved. That is not realistic. It's not reality at all. And so what I do and what we do as a company is we educate you on your hair beyond just the product. Okay. So think about it like this. 75% of hair product, of how your hair looks, has to do with you. If you've tried product after product after product, now don't get mad at me when I tell y'all this, okay? If you try product after product line and nothing's working, there's only one common denominator. And what is that? That's you. All these companies ain't in business if their products don't work. Okay, so I'm just here to give you a little bit of information and be a little bit in your face, because what that does is it changes the framework of your expectations. Because the problem is that, especially if you're frustrated and confused about your hair and you're just trying to find a product to fix your issue, you are doing yourself a disservice because you're just buying money and spending money wastefully, not realizing that, you know, some of these products might actually work for you if you change some of your habits. So those of you who have been around for a while already know what I'm going to say. If you go to the gym and you have yourself a gym membership and you use it, but then you still eating popcorn and ice cream and cake and soda and all that kind of stuff, you ain't going to lose no weight. You ain't going to get in shape. This is how it goes, right? You have to do some work, okay? So when I hear people say, you know, nothing works for me, I know that that's not true. I already know that there's something they're not doing. And so these are the most common 7 things that you're not doing. All right. So number 1 is you're not drinking enough water. Water is life to your hair. Plants need water to grow. Your body needs water to thrive. Your hair needs water to thrive. Water is the most moisturizing thing you can ever put in your hair. Trust me on this. I know that there's this misconception that water is drying. That is a lie. Water is not drying. Water is super moisturizing. Think about how great your hair looks when it's fresh out of the shower. You know, and people say, oh, my hair curl up when it's wet. Yeah, it curls up and it looks beautiful when it's wet because it's at its most hydrated and most moisturized state. The problem is that you're not adding additional water to it in various ways, whether it's internally through drinking water or topically through adding a water-based moisturizer, which we'll talk about in a moment. You're not doing that stuff. So yes, water is supposed to evaporate, but it's not drying. Water literally is wet, so it can't be drying, right? But if you are not adding your additional stuff into it, nothing's gonna help, right? Think about it kind of like a diet pill. If you take your diet pill, but you're still not, you know, consuming the right types of foods, you're not, it's not going to do anything. You're just taking something for fun, right? So, and when we talk about diet, and the reason I use diet and exercise so much is because it makes so much common sense to people. When I say it, they're like, oh yeah, of course that makes sense. Of course I don't expect to, get in shape without putting in some effort. But for some reason, we think that we're supposed to do all this bad stuff to our hair or not do the right things to our hair. And we're supposed to have this fantastic hair because we bought a product. And that's not how it works, right? So you've got to put in some effort. And so the first thing I want you to do is start making sure you drink at least 8 cups of water a day. If you can get to half your body weight in water, even better. But baby steps, right? Because it's hard to just start drinking a ton of water when you're not used to it. But if you can drink 8 cups of water a day, even if you can start with 4 cups of water a day, and then ascend to 8, and then beyond that, you will find that your hair will actually retain its moisture longer. It will be less dry. It will be less hard, all that stuff. But you've got to start with drinking water on a regular basis. All right. The next thing that I want to tell you that you're not doing enough of is not being consistent. And this is going to be a recurring theme throughout this whole live tonight. Consistency, consistency, consistency is the key to anything in life. If you want to achieve wealth, you got to be consistent with your saving and your investing and that kind of stuff. If you want to be consistent with, love, you can't, be a jerk to your mate sometimes and be nice to them other times. You've got to be consistent. If you want to have fantastic, fitness, you've got to be consistent at the gym. If you want to have fantastic hair, you've got to be consistent with your hair routine. You have to be consistent regardless of what you're doing. Consistency is the key to all of this, all right? So a lot of times you're buying all these products and you're trying all these different things, but you're not sticking with them long enough. You're not giving it long enough to actually work. You're trying something one time and you're like, this was a fail, and then you stop. And you don't give it a chance to really morph into seeing if it's even going to work. You have to give things time. Your hair did not get to the state where you're unhappy with it overnight. It's not going to fix itself overnight either. You've got to put in some effort. You've got to put in some work. All right. So consistency is the theme for the evening. The next thing you're not doing is that you're not getting enough green leafy vegetables. And this in the Repair Your Hair Challenge, this is the first 2 things that we talk about. We don't even go into twist outs and braid outs and all that kind of, we don't even get to that till like day 5 or 6 because we have to fix the other stuff first. A lot of times people, they just want to go into, getting things right with their hair, but they haven't fixed all the underlying issues first. And so one of those underlying issues is not eating enough green leafy vegetables, for sure. So here's an example. Here's some education for you. Green leafy vegetables are full of iron, calcium, sometimes potassium, all these kinds of things. And if your diet consists of things that don't include that, there's no way that you can expect for your hair to be strong and resist breakage. Here's the truth. Your hair is always growing. So if you feel like your hair is at a standstill, that it grows to a certain length and it doesn't grow anymore, well, it's not that your hair has just stopped growing. Your hair is always growing unless you have some sort of scalp condition. The issue is that your hair is breaking as fast as it's growing, and so you're not seeing the length retention. So the question really shifts from how do I grow my hair to how do I retain my length? And one of the ways that you retain your length, amongst the others that we're going to talk about tonight, one of the ways that you're going to retain your length, Tamara, you are so funny. One of the ways that you retain your length is by eating dark green leafy vegetables, putting them into your diet consistently every single day. And I'll give you some ways that you can do that so that your hair is actually stronger. All right. So broccoli, spinach is my favorite one because spinach actually doesn't have a whole lot of a taste when you put it into other things. So you can kind of get your greens without having to feel like you're eating like a 5 pounds of vegetables every day. One of the ways that I do it is through smoothies. So I will make a strawberry banana smoothie. I'll take some almond milk, I pour it into a blender. I will take some ice, put it in there, a banana, some strawberries, and then some spinach, which is obviously the greens. Blend it up. You don't even taste the spinach. It tastes just like strawberries and bananas, but I got all my spinach for the day. And so if you're not finding ways to add these into your diet, you'll find that your hair is probably going to be breaking much more than you would like. I know that it seems like our hair has the strength of, Hercules or something because it's so coarse at times, depending on what your hair texture is. But I'm here to tell you that our hair is actually the most fragile, one of the most fragile types of hair in the world. It requires a ton of attention. It requires a lot of moisture for us to add into it. It breaks easily if it's not cared for. And so it's actually not that strong on its own. We have to add strength to it. And so by eating your dark green leafy vegetables, you will find, if you're consistent, you'll find that your hair is actually more resistant to breakage, and you start to see your length retention over time. All right. The next thing that you're doing, Lord, it's hot up in here. I need to turn my air on. The next thing that you're not doing, or the next thing that you're doing to damage your own hair, is that you're skipping your treatments. So a lot of times, you guys are not doing your apple cider vinegar treatments. And when I hear people tell me that, nothing works, nothing takes to their hair, I already know that they have not done an apple cider vinegar treatment. I already know that they have not put on, that they have not clarified their hair. I know, because again, all these companies are not in business if their products don't work for people, right? That's just the fact. That's just economies of scale, right? So there's something that you haven't done. And one of the first things I tell people to do is to do a diluted apple cider vinegar rinse, because it will remove all the invisible buildup on your hair that you can't feel and you can't see. So if sometimes also people think that if they use a certain product over time and it stops working, they say, well, my hair stopped taking to my hair. No, it didn't stop taking to your hair. Your hair is just full of invisible buildup that you can't see and you can't feel. Bay is outside. Everybody's outside playing basketball. And I turned the air off because I was cold, and now I'm sitting in this room and I'm hot. So, in any case, so apple cider vinegar rinses, diluted ones, are the first thing I tell people to do, because it's important. I realize I'm always telling people to be consistent, and I realize I'm also telling people to make sure that they are not only consistent, but make sure that they're I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was gonna say. But anyway, I'm always telling people to make sure that they're consistent and that they give things time to work. But one of the things that you will see an instant benefit from is a diluted apple cider vinegar rinse, because your hair will feel lighter right away because you're removing all that stuff. Here's the thing. Think about all the environmental factors that just find itself embedded into your hair over time, right? So like just dirt and grime that's flying through the air that you can't see and you can't feel and you can't smell or taste, it finds itself into your hair. If you have products that you've used, you can wash it out with your favorite shampoo, but there's a little piece of that that's going to get stuck in there eventually. And so over time, if you've never done an apple cider vinegar rinse and clarified your hair, you're going to find that it's just buildup over buildup over buildup. And so now when you use new products, you're layering more products on top of that buildup that you have. So you have to clarify your hair if you want to see immediate changes for the better. So that's the first thing I say. And I advise that you dilute it 1 part of apple cider vinegar to 6 parts of water. Okay? The other treatment that you should be doing monthly, by the way, that's a monthly treatment. You should also be doing your protein treatments monthly as well. Protein will help to strengthen your hair. Again, we're not questioning how we grow our hair, because unless we have a real scalp issue, we don't have a problem growing hair. We have an issue with retaining our length, right? So the question is, how do I retain my length? 1, you make it stronger so that it doesn't break as much. We already talked about eating your dark green leafy vegetables. You can boost that even more by doing protein treatments once a month. I advise that you use an egg. If you don't like the runniness of an egg, or maybe if you have locks and you don't want to use an egg, you can use mayonnaise. But I definitely advise that you use an egg if you can. Use the egg yolk. Remove the white, because the white actually removes moisture from your hair. The yolk adds moisture to your hair. So you want to add moisture. And by the way, if you have not yet shared this live, make sure that you share and get all your friends in here. Hey, Steve. How are you? Steve is on tonight. All right. So skipping treatments. So those are monthly treatments. Now, weekly treatments that you want to do is you want to make sure that you are also doing your hot oil treatments and your deep conditioning. If you're using Naturalicious, you're already doing yourself a huge service, because your step 1 that you wash your hair with is also your deep conditioner. So you don't have to go out and buy another product. You don't have to go out and spend a lot of other money. Your shampoo is also your deep conditioner. You put that back on your hair after you've washed your hair. And then you take step 3, which is your moisture lock and frizz fighter. You put that oil on top of that. Do not mix them together. We're going to layer them. And I always say that they're a movement by themselves, but they're a force when they're together because they're made to work together phenomenally well. And if you do these 3 treatments on the schedule that I tell you, once a month for the first 2 and once a week when you wash your hair for the other ones, you'll find that your hair is in a much, much better state. Okay? All right, let's move along. So number 4, the next thing, I'm sorry, this is number 5. The next thing that you're not doing, the next thing you're doing to damage your own hair is that you're not washing your hair enough. And when you do wash your hair, you're not washing your scalp. So let's talk about the first part. You should be washing your hair every 7 to 10 days. I want you to be truthful. In the comments, drop me a comment and let me know how often you normally wash your hair. And there's no judgment. If you don't wash your hair, until every 6 weeks, it's fine. I can't help you if you don't be honest with me. So leave your comments below and let me know how often you are normally washing your hair. Brittany says, I feel seen. Let me know how often you're washing your hair. But while I'm waiting for you guys to comment with that, I'm going to tell you, you should be washing your hair every 7 to 10 days. Felicite, I hope I said your name right, darling. Wash her hair every weekend. Tim says once a week. Brittany says when the spirit moves me. Okay. Erica Lindsay says every week. Erica Saunders says every 7 days. All right, so every 7 to 10 days you should be washing your hair. Some people are going okay, Alicia says every 2 to 3 weeks. Latanya says weekly. Fair enough. Here's the thing. Your hair, especially if I'm assuming that you're putting some sort of product in your hair. I'm assuming you're not just waking up and going out the door and you have put no product, even if it's just a leave-in conditioner or just a gel or what have you. I'm assuming you're not doing that. I'm assuming you're putting some kind of cream or something in your hair to make it do what you want it to do, right? Over time, all that stuff builds up on your hair, whether you feel it or not. Remember, we all have invisible buildup on our hair. Florbella says twice a month that she washes her hair. Davita says before it was every 2 weeks, now it's every once a week since I received the products. Some people say every Saturday. Audrey says every 8 or 9 days. Okay, most of you are on track. Some of you are a little bit off track. But we have people who are washing their hair every 4 or 5 weeks, every 6 weeks, things like that. You can't do that. You need to wash your hair every 7 to 10 days. If you already are washing your hair on the schedule that you should be, kudos to you. But I am willing to bet that most of you, whenever you do wash your hair, you're probably not washing your scalp thoroughly. Unless you're an OG here at Naturalicious, or if you're in the Repair Your Hair Challenge, you probably haven't been washing your scalp like you should. Most people don't actually know how to wash their hair. So again, no shame. This is a zero judgment zone. But most people don't know how to wash their hair. They're washing their hair only. They're not focusing on the scalp. Did you know that when you wash your hair, your focus actually should be your scalp? And then your hair itself should be after that. Here's the reason. Think about when you go to the hair salon and you go into the chair and the girl at the wash bowl, she's washing your hair. What does she focus on mostly? She's focusing on your scalp. She's all in your scalp and it feels so good. You just want to take a nap because it feels so amazing, right? But when we get home, and then after that, she spends her time on your hair itself. But most of us, when we get home, we don't do that. We focus on our hair and we neglect our scalp. Here's the thing. Remember I talked about all those environmental factors, all that buildup that finds itself embedded into your hair and your scalp? Your scalp has pores in it. And guess where your hair grows from? It grows from those pores. So if your scalp is clogged with all these things for a lengthy period of time, your hair can't grow at the rate that it should. The great news is that your hair, on average, grows 1/2 inch per month. So that may not seem like a whole lot, but if you combine that over the course of a year, that's 6 inches that your hair will grow on average in a year. That's a lot of growth in a year's time. So because our hair cannot repair itself, and because our hair is technically dead in the sense that it doesn't have any blood or vessels or veins running through it to repair itself, you have to care for your hair on an ongoing basis. There is no repairing hair that has been damaged. You have to cut that off and start all over, right? So if you aren't washing your hair, all that stuff is being embedded into your scalp, and now your hair can't grow at the rate that it should. So all the work that you're doing, you may be moisturizing it, you may be drinking your water, you may be eating your vegetables and all the other things that we're going to talk about. But if you're not focusing really on that scalp, it can't get totally clean. And so instead of growing 6 inches in a year, you may find that your hair only grows 3 or 4 because it couldn't grow because it was clogged at the pores where it grows from. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense to everybody. If not, I will make sure that I come back to it. But I want to make sure that you really get this this concept, because not focusing on your scalp is not doing you any good. Of course, we want to wash our hair. Of course, we want our hair itself to be clean, but that scalp's got to be clean too. All right. Okay, moving along. We're making good progress on this. Okay, so next thing you're doing to damage your own hair is over manipulation. I know we have an amazing texture, and I know, especially when you first go natural, you have your hands all in your hair and it feels amazing, right? You just want to touch it, and you just want to have your hands all in it. I call it hand in hair syndrome. But I am here to tell you that you got to get your hands out your head, okay? You have all kind of stuff on your hands. Our hands are one of the dirtiest parts of our bodies, because we're always touching stuff. There's germs on it from everywhere. If we go to the grocery store, we're grabbing the handle for the cart. If we pick up something off the shelf, who else has touched that same product hundreds of times before you decide to buy it? Even when you lift your windows up, there's stuff on the window. Like, there's stuff everywhere, and you're touching your hair with your hands, and all that stuff is getting onto your hair, and it's not helping you out. It's actually causing your hair to dry out more. And dryness is the #1 culprit of almost all your hair issues. Almost every single one. Dryness, breakage, brittleness, some forms of shedding, some types of split ends. All that stuff happens with dryness. And you touching your hair all the time, all of this is helping to dry it out. So get your hands out your head, first of all. You can, Adrian. You can do it. I believe in you. You can do it. All right. Get your hands out of your hair. That's not to say that it's, it's not to say that you can't touch your hair ever. Of course. That's unrealistic, right? Because if you're like me, I love when Mike's hands are in my hair. So of course I'm not going to not touch my hair ever, but you want to limit it. Definitely work on limiting how much you are touching your hair. Be a little bit more conscious. You know how right now we're all supposed to be more conscientious of touching our faces because of COVID-19? You know that? We all have had to be more conscious of that and more deliberate about it. So practice that same habit when it comes to your hair, okay? In addition to that, when it comes to over manipulation, if you are combing your hair with the wrong type of comb or brush, you are ripping your hair out. You're ripping it out. The tighter your coils are, the more you need to make sure that you are using a wide tooth comb or your fingers when you're detangling. But if you're combing your hair, you definitely want to make sure you use a wide tooth comb. Small tooth combs are not made for us. They're just not. All right. They're just not made for us. Think about putting that small tooth comb in your hair and pulling down, and how all the kinks and coils and hurdles and hoops that it has to get through before it reaches the end, and how much of that you're pulling out of your hair every time you are using a small tooth comb. Wide tooth combs are made for us. So if you have a comb that has wider spaces in between, that's what you want. The wider the spaces, generally the better. Now, when it comes to detangling your hair, you can detangle with your fingers. I prefer to use a wide tooth comb because I think it does a better job. But you can detangle with your fingers as well. But combing, you don't want to use a small tooth comb. In addition to that, a paddle brush. Most paddle brushes, you ever seen those brushes that they literally shape like a paddle, and they have the little sticks on them with the little like dots at the end? You know what I'm talking about? Those aren't made for us either. They do a great job of smoothing your hair out, but they're not made for us. Our hair gets wrapped around those little beads at the top, and it rips our hair out as well. They ain't made for us. So don't use those, okay? Wide tooth combs only. Picks are fine, Christy. Picks are fine because picks tend to be wide, tend to have wider teeth than a small tooth comb. And generally when you're using a pick, well, this is a great question, because when you're using a pick, you should be using it to lift your roots. You should not be combing all the way through your hair with your pick. Even if you have a TWA, you should be using it just to lift your roots. Okay? All right, let's move on. So number 7, and I actually have a bonus for you guys. Number 7 is not moisturizing daily. Daily. Did you hear me? Not every 2 days, not every week, daily. Daily. I said what I said, because I know some of y'all gonna be like, daily? Gwen, I don't have time for that. I said what I said. Daily. I don't care if your hair is already retaining moisture. I don't care if your hair is already on point. You want to be proactive, not reactive. I am now at the point with my hair where I could probably moisturize my hair every 2 or 3 days, but I don't. I still moisturize it daily because here's the thing. By the time your hair feels dry to you, that's when most people start. No, it doesn't cause buildup, Elizabeth. I'll explain in a minute. Most people start to moisturize their hair when their hair feels dry. That's too late. It's too late by that time. You're already on your way to breakage and brittleness and shedding and all that kind of stuff, right? When you're every strand of our hair has 3 layers. The first layer is for lack of a better, like more scientific word, which I could go into, but I don't want to confuse you guys. We're going to call it the core, okay? The core of your hair, when it gets dry, it's already on its way to breakage and brittleness. It has that dryness feeling has to go through 2 other layers before you feel it, right? So it's going to start at the core, and then it's going to go through, like I said, 2 other layers, and then you feel the dryness. But it's already been dry at the core for, probably for a few days, maybe even a few weeks. Okay, and then now it's starting to break. Now you've got brittleness. Now you've got shedding. Now you got all this kind of stuff that you don't want, which could be eliminated if you were moisturizing on a daily basis. So because I don't want my hair I don't want to be reactive with my hair. I want to be proactive. I moisturize it every day to ensure that that doesn't happen. Now you want to make sure that you're moisturizing your hair with a product that is, you want to make sure you're moisturizing your hair with a product that is, oh, Brittany says, I didn't know you were a chemist, Brittany. I didn't know that. All right, so that's cool to know. So, what was I saying? The type of product that you use on your hair. You want to make sure that it's water-based, first of all, because water is the most moisturizing thing you can ever put on your hair, which we talked about earlier. Water, 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 water. If your moisturizer does not have water as the first ingredient, you need to put that joker down because it ain't made for you and it ain't made for me. Put it down. Water is the base that you should be looking for. Remember, what's at the top of the ingredient list is the most prevalent in that product. What's at the bottom is the least prevalent. It's not even really, it doesn't have that much of that product in it. So you want to make sure, remember I told you how great your hair looks when you first wet it with water? Your goal is to find products that are going to help you retain that moisture level in your hair, but you still have to do the work of doing it every day. You can't you can have a great, fantastic moisturizer, but if you only moisturize your hair once a week, that's not going to do anything. That's like you having a gym membership and going to the gym once a week and then saying, well, I didn't get fit. Well, you only went once a week, right? Like, what do you expect to happen in just by going once a week, right? So you have to do some work. You have to put in some effort here. When you moisturize your hair, I have posted this several times. If you missed it, check out our YouTube page because I have several videos on there showing how to do this. I do not spend more than 5 minutes moisturizing my hair every day. I don't. I probably spend like 3, if that. Moisturizing your hair should not take some long, drawn-out period of time. It really shouldn't. It should be a 3 to 5 minute top process. You do it every day, and if you're doing every day, you shouldn't have to spend a lot of time doing it because you're being proactive rather than reactive. And then you just keep it moving. You put your hair in a bun or do whatever you're going to do at night, and then you go to sleep, right? In terms of Naturalicious specifically, if you're moisturizing your hair, you can use step 2. That is our moisturizer. So step 2 is the moisturizer. If you have braids or some sort of style where you can't really get to your like the ends of your hair, you can use our Heavenly Hydration Grapeseed Hair Mist. And I'm so excited to now know that Brittany is a chemist. Brittany, you should not have told me that because I will be contacting you all the time. Brittany says that's true from a scientist standpoint. Water is the base for all her work formulations. Water is key. The scientist said so. Okay? So if you don't believe me, believe her. The scientist said water is the base for everything. And it is. Water is key for everything. Now, again, if you haven't seen my open palm method videos, which I show you how to moisturize every day, it's on our YouTube channel, which you can just go to YouTube and search for Naturalicious Beauty and you'll see it. Delete I moisturize my hair nightly. I moisturize my hair every night before I go to bed. But when the weather changes, sometimes my hair feels drier and then I moisturize it again in the daytime. I'm very like in tune with my hair. You know, if it feels dry, I give it the moisture it needs. The beautiful thing about our hair is that it will tell us what it needs. If your hair feels stiff, if it feels dry, if it feels like it's brittle a little bit, all it means is that you need more moisture. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with your hair. It doesn't mean that, you know, your hair is hopeless. It just means that you need moisture in that particular area. So sometimes a section of my hair will feel drier than other sections, and I will give it what it's asking for. I'll give it moisture. Erica says, so do you add oil after your moisturizer to seal in the moisture? I do, Erica. So I add in step 3, which is our moisture lock. So it literally locks in the moisture longer. And here's a great thing to remember as well, folks. Oil is not a moisturizer. I know a lot of us grew up with, you know, sitting between our mama's legs and, you know, blue magic going on the scalp or sulfur-8 or what have you. But that is mostly made up of mineral oil or petrolatum, which is the same thing as like Vaseline. And if you can think about what Vaseline does, it literally blocks moisture. So think about a baby. I don't know if people still do this, but back in the day, people would take Vaseline and they would put it on the baby's bottom, right? And why did they do that? What was the purpose of putting the Vaseline on the baby's bottom? They put the Vaseline on the baby's bottom to prevent the moisture from when the baby would pee in the diaper, to prevent diaper rash, because they didn't want the moisture to get to the baby's bottom and cause diaper rash. So the Vaseline was literally blocking the moisture from getting to the baby's bottom. That's what it does. It blocks moisture. That is the purpose of it. It blocks it, right? So if you're trying to moisturize your hair, you don't want petrolatum in your product, because it's literally like putting Vaseline in your hair. I don't think most of us would take a scoop of Vaseline and put it on our hair and then say, oh, my hair's moisturized. Like, you wouldn't do that, right? But when you use things with petrolatum, that's pretty much almost what you're doing. Yeah, it keeps the moisture out. Exactly. All right. So you want to stay away from that kind of thing. Oils are not bad. The problem is that most people are using oils for the wrong purpose. Most people are trying to use oils to moisturize their hair, and oils don't do that. Oils lock in whatever they're on top of. So if you put oil on top of your dry hair, you're going to lock in dryness. If you put oil on top of your moisturized hair, guess what? You're going to lock in moisturized hair. And that's what you want. So there's nothing wrong with oils. We have an oil, but we've literally labeled it step 3, so you don't do it before you do step 2. Step 2 is your moisturizer, and step 3 is your moisture lock. So it locks in the moisture, helps to retain the moisture longer. Okay? Brittany says petrolatum is too heavy and it will suffocate the pores. Exactly. Exactly. The scientist said so. Okay? So not moisturizing your hair enough is a problem, and that is probably the number 1 issue that you're having with your hair, and not moisturizing your hair with a good product. Again, you want to make sure water is the first ingredient, no petrolatum in your product, and no mineral oil. Mineral oil is not a real oil. Mineral oil is a byproduct of when gasoline companies distill gasoline from crude oil. What's left over is mineral oil. So it's not an actual oil. It's toxic crap, basically. So don't use that. It's also a moisture blocker. Anita says, what should you use on your scalp to moisturize? You can literally use step 2 on your scalp. You can literally part your hair and put step 2 on your scalp to moisturize your scalp. You guys can't feel it, but can you see how, you guys can probably see how soft my hair probably looks and feels right now. It's a little bit humid here, so it's a little bit whew, but you can probably see how soft it is. I just part my hair and I put step 2 right on my scalp. And it keeps my scalp soft. It keeps my scalp soft. It keeps my scalp moisturized and keeps it from being dry. Yes, mineral is the devil, at least for our hair. I agree. All right, so those are the 7 things that you're doing to damage your hair, but I'm going to give you one more. I have a bonus for you guys. The next thing is that you are styling your hair when it's dry. Don't do that. Our hair, remember I told you, it's very fragile. Even though it looks and feels like it might be strong, it's still really fragile. It requires a lot of work. Well, let me rephrase that. It requires a lot of work to get it into shape. Once it's in shape, as long as you're consistent, again, that same theme, as long as you're consistent and you are proactive, you will find it's really not a lot of work. The struggle is not real. I have no struggles with my hair. When I do my hair, I know it's going to turn out good because I know how to do it. I know how to take care of it. I'm also very consistent with it though. If I weren't consistent, then I would have issues, but I'm not. I care for it on a very regular basis. I don't wait until it feels dry to start working on it. I am proactive. And if you are the same, you will find that your hair is actually not a struggle. It's not hard at all. But styling your dry hair is a problem because our hair is not pliable when it's dry. When it's dry, it's on its way to brittleness and breakage and shedding and all that kind of stuff, or some forms of shedding and all those things. So if you are styling your hair, you want to make sure when you're styling your hair should always be either wet or damp. It doesn't have to be soaking wet. Obviously, if you're coming right out the shower, that's probably when you're going to style it. But at least let it be damp before you start to style it. That goes if you're doing, braids or twist styles or whatever. Most of the styles that you should be doing should be on some sort of damp hair. Even when you're combing your hair, especially when you're combing your hair needs to be damp at minimum because it's more pliable, it's more resistant to breakage. All right, so I'm going to repeat the 7 tips in case anybody came in late. So 7 things that you're doing. Actually, I gave you 8. So 8 things that you're doing to damage your own hair, which, as you notice, like I told you, none of this had to really do with any product. I kid you not. Every time I go somewhere, it doesn't matter where. It could be a family reunion. It could be over my friend's house. It could be at the store. Anytime somebody finds out that I own Naturalicious, which is a hair care brand, the first thing they ask me is, Gwen, what can I do to fix my problem? What can I do to fix my dryness? What can I do to fix my split ends? What can I do to fix the fact that my curls don't pop? What can I do to fix this? And I'm always telling them, because I'm truthful and I'm transparent, right? I always tell them, it's never just one thing. Like, very rarely is it one thing that you have to fix. It's usually something that you're doing or not doing, or combination of those, that's causing the problem. And also, they want to know, well, what product is going to fix this issue? And I'm always telling them, like, 9 times out of 10, it's not even a product problem. Usually it's not a product issue. Usually, again, it's something that you're either doing or not doing. So you can have the greatest products in the world, but if you're not moisturizing your hair on a regular basis, on a daily basis, having that product isn't going to do you any good. You can have the greatest products that Jesus himself created with his own 2 hands. But if you are not washing your scalp when you wash your hair, or you're not washing your hair adequately, it's not going to do you any good, So the product is just a tool. It's just a tool to supplement and assist with everything else that you're doing, right? So that gym membership, if the gym membership is equal to the hair care product, if you have a gym membership, you can have a gym membership all day long. But if you don't go, what difference does it make? Right? You can have a gym membership all day long, but you can even go work out. But if you're still eating and you haven't changed eating bad, you haven't changed your diet, you cannot outwork out a bad diet. You're still going to be out of shape, right? So it's just a tool to supplement everything else that you're doing. So I really want people, like, one of my goals is to really get people out of the mindset that, all these products don't work for them, or that there's something wrong with their hair, or that they are a hopeless cause. That's not the case. You just need education. I always say, we don't have a product problem in America. We really don't. There was a time when we had a product problem. There was a time where we had to, go and, if you wanted to find hair care products for us, you had to go to Brooklyn and get Carol's Daughter, because that's the only place it was available, right? But nowadays, you have aisles and aisles and aisles of product dedicated to your hair. But then and now, people still don't know what to do with their hair. So the issue is not products. There's plenty of products. The issue is lack of education. And so, again, one of my goals is to get people out of the thought that it's just going to be a miracle in a jar that they can use and it's going to fix all their issues when they're still doing all these things that they shouldn't be doing. Okay? So let me repeat the 8 ways that you are damaging your hair for you. The first one is not drinking enough water. You should be drinking 8 cups of water a day at minimum. Ideally, you should be drinking half your body weight in water. But if you can't get there, 8 cups of water a day to start. Second thing is not eating enough green vegetables. Green vegetables are chock full of things like iron, potassium, calcium, all sorts of other stuff that you just aren't getting. And so if you want your hair to be strong and to resist breakage, you have to eat and consume these sorts of things. Remember, everything that happens, well, not everything, a lot of things that happen on the outside of your body when it comes to your beauty, whether it's your hair, your skin, your nails, your eyes, your teeth, a lot of that has to do with the things that you're putting into your body, and they're coming out. They have to come out some kind of way, and they will come out, and your body will tell on you. If your hair is brittle and dry and, you know, it's just not performing well, it's going to tell you. It's going to tell what you haven't been doing. If your skin is what's the word I'm looking for? It's like kind of scaly and it's not smooth and it's, you know, not glowing like you want it to. It's going to tell you, what are you eating? It's going to tell on you. So you have to make sure that you're consuming the right things. The next thing is skipping treatments. You should be doing your hot oil treatments and your deep conditioning treatments. And I think I saw someone ask, or a couple of people ask, can they use step 1 and step 3 together? Yes, and I actually advise that you use them together. So not only can you do it, but it's actually highly encouraged that you use them together. So step 1 and step 3, that's your deep conditioning and your hot oil treatment together once a week. And then once a month, you should be doing your protein treatment and your apple cider vinegar treatment. I saw someone else ask, can you do a apple cider vinegar rinse at the same time that you do a protein treatment? You can, but I kind of advise that people do them on opposing weeks. So one, it'll just take up, for the most part, it will take up less of your time. So if you do the apple cider vinegar rinse, you got to spend time doing that, and you got to spend time doing the protein treatment. My advice is to do one week and then do another one the other week and then move along. So that way you're not spending all your time. When it comes to your protein treatment, you can use an egg yolk or mayonnaise. You don't want to use Miracle Whip. Miracle Whip is not mayonnaise. Miracle Whip is technically a dressing. If you look at the container, it literally says salad dressing, which is not, I've never used Miracle Whip as a salad dressing, so I don't know. They must be talking about like a potato salad or something, because I'm not putting Miracle Whip on a green salad and eating it. That's weird. But it is not mayonnaise. It does not have the same sort of content as mayonnaise. You want to use real mayonnaise, aka Hellmann's or what have you, okay? Mayonnaise or an egg. I advise an egg because an egg is just the best protein. It's literally almost pure protein in egg yolk. Remove the yolk from the white. The white actually removes moisture. The white removes moisture. The yolk adds moisture. Okay? You want to do protein once a month. No more than once a month. The reason that protein causes brittle hair for some people is because they're doing it too often. So most people, well, not going to say most people, but some people actually do protein treatments way too often. You can end up with what is called protein overload. And what that is where you've loaded up your hair with so much protein that it thins each strand out and it snaps like a twig. And you don't want that. So once a month is how often you should be doing your protein treatments. Okay, for your step 1 and 3 treatments, you can leave them on for about 20 minutes. So you want to put step 1 on and then put step 3 on top of that. Remember, we're not mixing them together. We're layering them on top of each other. So step 1 first on wet hair. Okay, because you should have just washed your hair. You always do treatments on a wet head. Wet head. You always do treatments on a clean scalp and clean hair. What am I talking about? Clean scalp and clean hair. Okay, so wash your hair first. And then you can use step 1 for that. And then you put step 1 back on. And then step 3 on top of that. So we're going to layer them just like that in that order. That order is very intentional and deliberate. Don't try to get fancy and do step 3 first and then step 1. Do step 1 first and then step 3. Okay? And then you put a plastic shower cap on to keep it from drying out. Wait about 20 minutes and then you rinse it out. Okay? Delitha says, do you recommend some other protein treatment other than eggs and mayo? I don't. And I'm going to tell you why. Because, one, a lot of times these companies, they change the product. And so I used to recommend Alpha-G. I don't recommend Alpha-G anymore because Alpha-G now has, the protein treatment now has endocrine disruptors in it where it didn't before. And so we know they ain't about to change eggs. Eggs is going to be eggs, and it is what it is, right? Whereas a lot of products, they change ingredients often, especially in times like this where some ingredients are hard to come by because of COVID-19. They'll find other supplemental ingredients, and then they'll replace the good ingredients with that stuff. But Alpha-G now has endocrine disruptors. And when you disrupt your endocrine system, you end up with a lot of problems, like irregular periods oftentimes. You can also have kidney stones from that. You can have all sorts of issues from that. You got to remember, our skin is porous, and so is our hair. So the things you put onto it directly can affect the inside working of your body. So I don't advise over-the-counter protein treatments. There's not one that I can recommend. Like I said, I used to recommend Alpha-G until they changed it. So now I recommend an egg or mayonnaise. I thought somebody asked something about short hair. Shell says, Portia, it seems most is for long hair and not our short coils hair. I'm not sure what you're referring to, Shell. So give me some background about what you're talking about so I can address it for you. Okay. The next thing that I want you to make sure that you're not doing is, we talk about skipping treatments. Oh, not washing your scalp and your hair often enough. So again, you want to wash your hair every 7 to 10 days. And then when you wash your hair, you also want to make sure that you're focusing heavily on your scalp because that is where your hair grows from. If it's clogged with environmental things or product buildup that you can't see and feel, your hair cannot grow at the rate that it should. And if you're doing the things that you should, you can expect to have about, on average, ½ an inch of growth per month or 6 inches in a year. Portia says, any suggestions for very tightly coiled, fine, short hairstyles with low manipulation? Daily moisture causes knots. So, I'm going to assume that I don't know what you're moisturizing with, Portia, or how often you're moisturizing, or how, like, the technique that you're using to moisturize. Daily moisture does not cause knots. I'm assuming that you may not be doing hot oil treatments, and you probably also haven't done a apple cider vinegar rinse, and there may be a chance that you haven't had your ends trimmed in a while. So split ends, when they split, they wrap around each other. So let's say this is a strand of hair, my finger, and then once that end split, it splits like this. And because our hair is curly, it splits and wraps around. So usually when you have hair knots, that's usually where the knots are coming from. It's coming from hair that requires, hair that needs to be trimmed. So that's probably the issue. In addition to that, there's a good chance that you may not have done an apple cider vinegar rinse or clarified your hair in a long time. So I would advise you to do that as well. And then if you want to, once you get rid of the split ends, because you have to do that if you want the knots to go away, you then have to make sure that you're moisturizing, just like Miss Pat says. She moisturizes her hair every day, twice a day, and she has short hair. So she doesn't have a hair knot issue, but she also keeps her hair trimmed. So remember, this whole thing is about things that you may or may not be doing, because a lot of times we don't realize that we're not doing some stuff, or we may be doing it slightly different than we should be. So yeah, Portia, I'm going to advise that you get a trim, or either trim yourself. If you're part of the Repair Your Hair Challenge, I actually teach you how to trim your own hair, especially because times like this, you can't go to a salon and get it done. So I'm going to advise that you get a trim if you haven't had a trim in a while. And even if you have had a trim in a while, sometimes, I'm sorry, even if you have had a trim recently, sometimes we're over manipulating, or we're not washing correctly, or whatever, that causes more split ends. And it's just, they just come back and they need to be trimmed off again. So I'm going to assume that that's probably what you need, and that will eliminate the knots for you. It has nothing to do with moisturizing your hair. Our hair requires moisture. So if you don't moisturize it, it's going to be dry, and you're just going to have the same issue that you've already had. But you need to get a trim. And then after that, you need to start doing your monthly apple cider vinegar rinse. And then after that, you also want to make sure that you're doing hot oil treatments every time you wash your hair. If you do that, you won't have a issue with knots. Knots won't be an issue at all for you if you do those things. Elizabeth says, I need to know how to trim my own hair. Join the Repair Your Hair Challenge, Elizabeth. It opens up June 7th at my birthday party. If you guys come, which I'll leave the link. I don't trust the shops either, honestly, Elizabeth. A lot of the shops, they are very scissor happy, and you go in there, you ask for a trim, and you end up with a whole haircut, and you're like, this is not what I signed up for. You leave mad as a bat because you done got a haircut and all you wanted was a trim. So yes, I completely feel you. Which is why it's important to be able to trim your own hair. Now, if you are able to eventually find a stylist who you trust and they can trim it for you and it's all good, fantastic. But at least you know how to take care of your hair yourself. All right. The next thing that you're not doing enough of, or that you are causing damage to your hair, is over manipulation. Touching your hair a whole lot. Hand and hair syndrome. I know you feel sexy and you feel hot and you feel good when your hands in your hair, but your hands are full of all sorts of germs that are all around the environment, and it's causing dryness when you're constantly touching your hair. The next thing is not combing your hair with the right type of comb. So, you know, combing it with a small tooth comb is doing you a disservice. It's literally ripping your hair out. You want to make sure that you are combing with a wide tooth comb. And then the next thing is styling on dry hair. So that's number 7, styling on dry hair. You want to make sure that your hair is at least damp or wet when you're styling your hair to prevent it from breaking. And then the bonus is consistency. All of the stuff I talked about is not going to do you a bit of good if you're not consistent with it. Not going to do any good for you. You will be completely wasting your time to even start if you're not going to be consistent. Everything that you want to do that you want good to come from your hair starts with you being consistent. And if you can't do all of these, pick one. Pick one to make it easy, right? Baby steps, right? So can you start drinking water every day? Can you do that? Can you at least drink 4 cups of water a day? Try that, you know? And then once you get into that, try the next thing, which is adding some green leafy vegetables to your diet every day. And then once you get the hang of that, start moving into, you know, not styling your hair on dry hair. That's easy. You can easily just spray some water on your hair when you style your hair. You know, so like I mentioned, none of these things are going to cost you any money or a whole lot of time. It's just going to require your consistency if you want them to work for you. Let's see. I thought I saw a question. I'm great, Lisa. I'm great. I'm so happy that you're here. Thanks for joining. Lisa Berry says, where can we sign up for the Cutting My Ends Hair Challenge? So Lisa, the challenge is not just about cutting your hair. The challenge includes how to trim your own hair, how to trim your own ends. But there's so many other things that we go through. It's a 15-day challenge. It's called the Repair Your Hair Challenge. We have some people in here now who completed the challenge with amazing, fantastic results. I have a few of their before pictures. If y'all want to see them, I can show them to you. Let me know if you're interested in seeing some of the before and after pictures of these beautiful women who took the challenge for 15 days and completely transformed themselves. I can show them to you. So if you want, I'm not gonna show them to you if y'all don't let me know. So if y'all don't show me some love in the comments, I'm not gonna show you the pictures. But you gotta show me the pictures. You gotta show me some love, and then I'll show you the pictures. But you can sign up for it at the link that they just dropped below. So that's the link to sign up for the waiting list. So the list actually opens up on June 7th, which is my birthday, and thank you guys for the B-Day love. That's the day that it opens up, and the challenge will actually start in July. I will tell you, the last time we sold out in 4 days. So last time we oversold a little bit because people were all in our DMs and our inbox like, can I please get into the challenge? But this time we won't be able to do that. So if you want to get into the challenge, my advice is that you sign up early, because everyone who comes to the birthday party will have early access to the challenge. But part of that challenge is me showing you how to trim your own ends. And I know it sounds scary, but everyone who took it and did it, they're bosses. They're pros now. Like, they're like, oh, this isn't so hard at all. And so the whole goal of everything that I do is to remove the struggle from your hair. Because your hair doesn't have to be a struggle. The only problem is that you don't have the proper education in order to be able to make it not feel like a struggle. But it's a struggle right now because you're just pulling at straws and you don't really know totally what to do. And so that's what I'm here to help you with. Oops. What did I do? Oh, no. I removed all the comments somehow. Oh, there you go. Okay. I got them back. All right, let me scroll down. All right, I see people saying, yes, please, 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 please. Pictures, please. Please show results. Show us. Okay, I don't know. I don't know if y'all really want to see it, because I don't see a whole lot of y'all saying y'all want to see these before and afters. Jane says, I flat iron, so will step 2 moisturize like water? Step 2 is water based. So yes, it will revert your hair if that's what you're asking, Jane. All right, see a lot of y'all said, show me. Okay. I'm going to show y'all some of these pictures. I don't have them all. I showed them actually to the inner circle already. And I just haven't had a chance to put them all together. But here are some of them. And I'm going to show you different lengths and textures because I think that's really important. So here we have, oops. All right, so let's go to the first one. So here is one of my faves, which I posted this in the group, the Naturalicious Nation. This is Carol. This is Carol's before. And this is Carol after 15 days. After taking the Repair Your Hair Challenge. Amazing. Amazing. Like, total transformation, right? Look how smooth and sleek her hair is. How frizzy and dry it was before. It's incredible. It's incredible. Lakeisha, I don't have Lakeisha's before and after yet. I have the pictures, I just haven't put it together. But her before and after was amazing as well. This is Nana. And like, you can just see, like, even look at their faces. Look at her face before and look at her face after. Look at that confidence that she has now, that she knows what to do with her hair. Like, she's a whole new woman, right? Whole new person. It's amazing. So Nana has like 4C hair, right? So those of you who feel like, you know, your hair is a hopeless cause because it's coarse, I got 4C hair. And, you know, it doesn't have to be a struggle. It really doesn't. You just need the education, right? This is Danielle. So Danielle is someone who's been in the nation for a while, and she's been on the struggle bus too. But you can see how shiny her hair is in the after picture. She still has her coils. But it's a lot more even. It's a lot less dry. Just look at the dryness before and look at that definition and shine afterwards. Then we have, let's see, this is Kiara. Kiara's before. And Kiara already had a lot of hair in her before picture. So you can see Kiara is someone who, you know, you may feel like, well, if I have a lot of hair or if, you know, this may not be for me. But she had a lot of hair before. But that after, though, I mean, what a transformation. What a difference in the shine in Kiara's hair afterwards and before. So for you short-haired boos, here is Indea. So she had short hair, and she still does, but no curl definition beforehand. And now, look at her curls. It's a total different person. And again, look at their face. Like, it's beyond just the hair, right? I always say, like, what I teach is not just, it's your hair, but our hair, especially of women of color, are so, like, our hair is such a part of our identity. There's so much history wrapped up in our hair, right? Like, good things, bad things, confidence, lack of confidence. And so when our hair is not on point, our whole day is shot. There's people who have been in, who were in the challenge, who, we always show short hair, Shell. I don't know what you mean. We always show short hair because we take care of women with super low cuts and super long hair. And so we always show, I'm sorry if you haven't seen them, but we're always showing short and long hair and medium length hair. But the confidence that comes with knowing how to care for your hair is, there's no words for it. There's no words for it. Portia asks about the short hair. So the short hair was actually Indea, and this is Indea's wash and go actually. This is Indea's wash and go now versus before. So curl definition on deck, okay? So we have more. And here's this is Yolanda. So Yolanda's hair was uneven and dry. And Yolanda, as you can see, we have people of all ages. We have people, right? I think our youngest in the group was Danielle. This is Danielle, if you recall. This is Danielle. Okay. Her before and after. So she's like 26, I think, or so, something like that. And then I think one of the oldest people we had in the group was like 67 or something. So we had a whole range of ages, hair types, hair textures, hair lengths. It doesn't matter. My system, it works because it's rooted in science. It's not like YouTube. And I always tell people, yes, you could probably go to YouTube for free, but how's that working out for you? Because by the time you get to us, you have probably tried tons of products. You've probably been on YouTube for hours, spent all this time, and nothing's still working for you. So even myself, which is in here somewhere, where's my own picture? I got my picture somewhere over here. I had to repair my own hair and learn all these things. So this is me when this is my hair before, right? This is, as you can see, is thin, it's broken off, it's uneven. And this is my hair now when it's in the wash and go. But this took me 10 years. This took me 10 years. Whereas this took Arkisha 15 days. Because I teach all the things that I had to learn that no one else is teaching. Right? I don't have a picture of the locks yet. I haven't printed it out, but I'll show it on the next video. But Karen is here. At least she was here earlier. Karen is the one that has the locks. And she had her before and after picture too, and I got to put that together. So I have that for the next time that I come on for you guys. But I'm telling you, my system works. And I would love for you all to join me in the Repair Your Hair Challenge for the next one because it's going to be amazing. But what's so cool about the Repair Your Hair Challenge is that it's not just the challenge for 15 days, right? It's like, yes, let's get you together in 15 days. But what happens after that, right? What happens after those 15 days? Are you like how you're on your own, right? So this challenge actually teaches you how to like keep all this stuff going even after the challenge is over. So it's not just, oh, okay, my hair looks great in 15 days and now I'm stuck. It's my hair is together in 15 days and now I can do this for a lifetime. Right? So, and again, Portia, she's saying, you know, she would love to be able to do a wash and go on short hair, but it's more than just, again, a product. It's more than just a product. It's more than just one thing. It's usually a combination of things. And so every day in the challenge, it builds upon the next one, right? So day 2 builds upon day 1, and day 3 builds upon day 1 and 2, so that by the time that they're done, they have a whole arsenal. They can actually teach this to their friends and their family and their kids so that they don't have to struggle with their hair, because your hair does not have to be a struggle if you know what to do. And it's a constant upkeep. It's a constant upkeep. You can't just do it and then stop. You've got to maintain it. And so those folks who took the challenge and decided that they want to stay in it and have all the resources and access, they have become part of the inner circle. And so now they're in the inner circle and they get even higher level of content and trainings and things that, you know, aren't available for anyone else. So I hope that you guys do join me in the Repair Your Hair Challenge. It's going to be amazing. Yes, Veronica is a shorty. She's a shorty. She has the short hair and she has color. And then we have Pat, who's in the challenge. She's also in the inner circle. Pat has gray hair. And, you know, so the reason that my system works is because, again, it's rooted in science. It's not just like, oh, this works for my hair. Let me make a video and put it on YouTube and tell you what works for my hair. This is rooted in what works for hair in general. And then we build you a routine so that you can go ahead and your hair can be fabulous for the rest of your life. There was one person in the challenge. She was, I want to say she was 45, and she had mentioned in her, when they start the challenge, they take a survey and they answer all these questions. And then when they leave, they answer some more questions. And one of the things that she answered, she said, one of the questions was, you know, how long have you had problems with your hair? And she said, I started hating my hair when I was 5 years old. And she was 45. So for 40 years of her life, she looked in the mirror and didn't see someone that she thought was beautiful. That is amazing, right? That's so profound. Can you imagine? Not like, a lot of times we're like, oh, it's just hair, but it's not. It's literally a foundational element for how we show up in the world every day. And what I tell my girls in the Repair Your Hair Challenge and those who stay for the inner circle, I always tell them that they should be so proud of themselves because they chose them. And that is always my thing. Like, choose you. You as women, we are spending so much time and energy focusing on everybody else. We work on everybody else's needs. Everyone else comes before us, and then we play the background, and then we get to us when we can. That stops today. You choose you. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot be 100% for anybody if you're not 100% for you. You can't be 100% if when you look in the mirror, you don't see something that you love, and that when you wake up, you're like, dang, I look pretty good today. That should be your mood. I want that to be your mood every day. It's not vain. It's not superficial. Not at all. It's something that you need, because that way you are better for everybody else. Totally. All right. And so one of the things that we do in the Repair Your Hair Challenge, we also talk about mindset. I have my personal transformation coach come in twice and talk to them and just blow their whole minds. And those who were there, they know Coach P gets you together. All right. So she comes in. We talk about the mindset of your beauty, how you feel about yourself, how you see yourself beyond just your hair. Your hair is a thing, but how do you feel about yourself? You know, are you choosing yourself? Do you matter? Right? And so that's part of the challenge. Like, and so I'm so proud of them for choosing themselves. Like, Letitia is here. I got her picture somewhere. I think this is Letitia's picture. This is Letitia's before and after. You know, Letitia has color. Her hair is, I would call it, you know, medium length. She's got a little bit of a taper on the sides. But that's Letitia. She's glowing. You know? Because she chose herself. She chose herself for one. She chose to spend 15 days working on her so that she can be her best self and live her best life. Like, literally, when your hair looks good and when you feel like you look great, you literally stand up taller. You take less crap from people, honestly, because you feel like you're worth it. You stand up taller and your sway is a little bit more swaggy. You know, you literally walk different when you feel like you look good. Have you ever seen somebody and you can tell that they're not confident in themselves and they're just not feeling how they look, and then seeing someone else who feels like she got it going on that day? Their walks are literally night and day. Right? Because they have spent the time to put themselves first. I'm a mother. I get it. Like, your kids come first. And if you're in a dedicated relationship, you know, you may feel like your spouse or your partner comes first, but they all have to come second to you. I can't be a bomb mom to my son if I'm not taking care of me. He literally tells me, like, if my nails aren't done, which they aren't right now because we're in coronavirus, he'll be like, Mommy, when are you getting your nails done? Because he loves to see me looking great, because he knows that I'm better for him when I have myself together, right? Because I feel like my aura is different when I am caring for myself. Yes, self-care is important. Self-care is not selfish. It's not selfish. It's actually more selfish for you not to care for yourself than it is for you to care for yourself. So, again, the Repair Your Hair Challenge starts June 7th, or it doesn't start June 7th. It opens up June 7th, and I want you to join. And if you are at my birthday party, you will have access to get it early. Everyone else won't get it till after that, but whenever we sell out, it's when we sell out. So if you aren't at the party and you don't get the Repair Your Hair Challenge, if you don't sign up, then it may not be available afterwards. So I want you to sign up so you can live your best life. And then after that, you can join us in the inner circle and you can continue to live your best life. We had so much fun in the inner circle. We had my personal friend who is a celebrity chef for the Jacksonville Jaguars. She came in and she did a cooking class with us. So remember, I was talking to you about getting your greens in, right? So she came in and had us do a whole cooking class together. And we found ways to make this delicious, amazing meal. It was so good with greens, because it can get really boring creating your, trying to figure out how to get your greens in. And so she did that for us. So Tamika, you probably signed up for the waiting list. So the waiting list lets you know when the Repair Your Hair Challenge opens. So that's what you signed up for. Okay. But to actually buy into the list, because we send you all the products that you're going to need. We send you all, so you get all the products for the challenge. And most of those products will all those products will last you beyond the challenge. You also get all the workbooks, all the trainings, all the daily video workshops with me, all of that. All of that starts June 7th. Yes, June 7th to sign up for the challenge, Portia. Yes, June 7th. June 7th. So make sure you get on the waiting list that Rika posted. All right. And then June 7th will be the day that you all can sign up. It's my birthday. So make sure you sign up. All right. All right. I think I got everyone. And I'm going to get some more of these before and afters to show y'all because I have a lot more. And I do want to show you guys as Karen's because Karen is the one that has the locks. She has sister locks. And she took the challenge. And her before and after is crazy too. It's amazing. It's incredible. It's incredible. All right. So I am going to go, but I think I answered most of your questions. I thought I saw someone. Oh, June, how long do you leave the egg yolk on? So when you're doing your protein treatment, June, you're going to leave your egg yolk on for 20 minutes. Make sure, though, that you have a plastic shower cap on because otherwise it will dry and you don't want the yolk to dry in your hair. And then another tip, June, and everyone else listening, make sure you rinse your hair with cold water. You don't want to fry the egg on your head. Okay, that's a tip. Because that's a tip coming from my personal experience. Having been someone who did fry the egg on her head because didn't nobody tell me don't use hot water. So make sure you use cold water to rinse your hair. All right, so I have to go, lovelies. Thank you so much for joining tonight. I hope this has been helpful for you, and I hope you wrote down these notes. If you did not write down the 7 tips, no worries. You can always check the replay here and on YouTube. All right, you guys have a great evening. I can't wait to see you next week. And then the Sunday after that is our party. And make sure you have your drink in hand because DJ 007 is going to be there. He's going to turn it up. And we're going to have a great time. I'm going to be dressed up. So I hope that you come dressed up too. Elizabeth says, how long for the egg yolk? 20 minutes. Zandra, I have 4C hair. How often should I do apple cider vinegar? Doesn't matter what type of hair you have. You should do your apple cider vinegar rinse once a month. Once a month. All right? All right, y'all. Have a beautiful evening and stay safe out there. Love y'all. Bye.